Hello everyone, this is your girl, small girl with a big gourd. This is another edition on Life with Debbie. Please, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscription button. On today's episode on Life with Debbie, we want to talk about migration issues once again. Once you've successfully entered the country that you are going, employment issues. Let me take where I am, for instance, that is the United Kingdom. One of the challenges that is going all around the countries when people find themselves there is employment issue. Normally, it is all over social media. I came with this employer, I'm not getting hours. People are stranded. And so on this section of Life with Debbie, we want to dive deep into ways as to which we will find employment when the employer that brought us to the country isn't having hours for you. One thing that we really have to take into consideration is that migration from your country to another country is a process on its own, and it's a life. I put it in the sense that it's a channel or it's a transition in life, because you've moved from your country to another country. You might be comfortable at your country where you were, but now you've moved to another country. That is when new life begins. Example, in Ghana, we have a hot climate weather. But when it comes to the UK, normally it's cold. It can be cold right now, it can be sunny in a minute, and it will rain in a minute. So we have all these changes. So I've moved from a place to another place. So currently, maybe I was okay in the country that I was, and I've moved to a different country. So it's a new development altogether that is to commence with. So one thing that I really want us to picture or have it at the back of our mind is anything that is starting, like a beginning of something, is not easy. Yes, you bear in mind with me that beginning a journey is not easy. So one way or the other, you've gotten a sponsorship and you are in the country and you are beginning life all together. It isn't easy. People that you come and meet who can support you in all angles. Still, it wouldn't be as easy as you were comfortable in the country where you relocated to. So another thing is, if the employer that brought you is not having work for you. Example, if you came with a skilled working visa, normally if either it's 3 years, 2 years, or 5 years, I believe that you have additional 20 hours to work aside the employer that brought you. So if I'm on a 5 years working visa, I have additional 20 hours to work with another agency. I'll get the employer that brought me. Optionally, if the employer that brought you is having more hours, you can as well work within that same employer for your additional 20 hours. So we have something like 48 hours opt-out or 48 hours opt-in when it comes to employment issues. So if you should sign 48 hours opt-out or opt-in, meaning that if the employer that brought you is having 48 hours for you, and you can say you are not doing more, you can say you want to do more with the employer. All are your decisions that you have to make. But what we are concentrating now on Life with Debbie is that when an employer brings you to a country and you are not having work, or the employer is not having work as it stands for you, what are you going to do? That is the question. Make sure that the referee on your CV will be easily contacted. As in any time that we need your referee, we can contact him or her. Because if the employer wants to pick you, the next thing that the employer will wait for is your reference. It's your reference. So if somebody is referencing you and then we've sent forth your reference for like a month or two and we are not hearing from them, definitely it will make your employment issue very frustrating, because people are not referencing for you. You keep on doing applications and the reference on your CV are not ready to, or your referees on your CV are not ready to reference for you. What makes you distinguished from other applicants or other candidates who are still applying for this job? These are the tricky things that we really have to pay attention in all our jobs application. For instance, if I'm applying for healthcare assistant in a particular domiciliary home or domiciliary care company or a care home, what are the relevant experiences that the job or the employer is looking for? Normally, if you see this job pop up, there are job description as to the responsibilities of you, the person applying, either as a nurse or a carer or whatever position that you are applying for. Normally, there are responsibilities or a task role for you. To talk about the CV, what should be on the CV? Is your CV having gaps? Is your CV having gaps? Most of the things that we really don't put into action is taking time to go through our CV. So for instance, if you should take your CV should give subsequent or up-to-date details about you, about your employment. So for instance, if I was schooling in Ghana, I started from let's say you started from JHS and you went to tertiary and we went on and on and on. So if you should pick the CV should give up-to-date information about you. There shouldn't be any gaps. For instance, I started JHS from June 2022 to June 2023. After June 2023, I went forward to tertiary from June 2023 to maybe August 2024. That is the subsequent ways as to which your CV should be arranged. So you should make sure that the CV that you are putting out there has no gaps. And if a layman should even pick your CV, it should tell the person reading your CV up-to-date details about you, your employment history, your schooling and everything. So in order for it to be easier for you to get job and easier for employers to be interested in what is on your CV, make sure that your CV is without gaps. Made our CV good without gaps. Our references or our referees, they will be easily contacted and we can get to them on time. Then we can go forward to make as many applications as we want. Yes, so if an employer brought me into the country and the employer is not getting job for me, I might as well take it upon myself to look for other agencies to register for additional 20 hours if I'm entitled to. So assuming you have to pay your rent, you have to do other groceries, you have to do shoppings and any other thing, and you are in the country and you feel stranded with your employer and you are not getting job at the moment, the most important thing for you to do is to seek for another agency jobs to do. You can apply as many as you want. Yes, you can apply as many as you want, because even if an agency gives you job, that agency cannot guarantee you of that 20 hours. There can be weeks that the agency have job and there can be weeks that the agency doesn't have job. And what will you be doing? Once again, it's Life with Debbie. Life with Debbie. Please, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscription button. If you have any question, you can put it at the comment section and you make time to reply every question. So one of the tricky things in employment in the United Kingdom mostly, or most of the countries, is that maybe I'm a nurse and I came in as a carer in the country. Already I'm having a health background, but then when you enter into the country as a carer, you are required to have certain experiences before you can confidently be discharged to work, either in a care home, a domiciliary care, or home, any of the care settings. Why? Because you believe that you should have relevant trainings and experience in the country to be able to be comfortable to administer every tax that is being given to you. So normally, if I'm in the country for 1 month, 2 months, it's a bit challenging for me to get employment if the employer that brought me is not having hours for me. Normally it's a bit challenging. Why? Because all the jobs that you will be applying for, most of them will ask for 3 months experience, 6 months experience. Here by the case, I'm just 1 month, 2 months. So on Life with Debbie, we are diving deep into the concept of employment. That is, maybe if you are new in the country, maybe 1 month, 2 months, it will be very good if you take time to do sequence of trainings, like series of trainings, just to get the experience that it requires. Like you roll yourself into trainings. There are a lot of trainings that you can roll yourself on, so that you do not most of the trainings that is required in most of the care settings, whether domiciliary care or care home. You should enroll yourself in most of these trainings. So when is your 3 months and you are doing job applications, the question is, where do I apply for these job applications? Firstly, there is an Indeed portal. Yeah, you can put your CV on the Indeed portal, so that if any job pops up and it matches the work that you are, or it matches your experience, you will see it. You turn on the notifications, on the Indeed portal, or we have a portal like Total Jobs. You might as well put your CV there.